Hi, welcome to another installment of the Proven Sales Letter Breakdown series that I'm doing for 90 days. And today I have a treat for you, but it's gonna be something really special because you may have heard about the Wall Street Journal sales letter before. It's considered to be one of the greatest sales letters of all time because between 1975 and 2003, it sold $2 billion worth of subscriptions to the Wall Street Journal. So think about it, $2 billion. So that's why a lot of people consider it to be one of the best sales letters of all time because it sold so much single-handedly. And it's actually pretty short. It's 2 pages only, so that's it. However, what a lot of people don't know, and I got this idea from Roy Furr from BTMS Insiders and also from a book called The Confessions of a Direct Advertisement Man or something like that. But the idea here is that actually this sales letter wasn't even that super hyper effective. It only had like a 0.3% conversion rate. It just ran for so freaking long. So it ran for like 28 years and the company didn't really test anything against it. So good direct response companies, they always test new promotions against each other because they always want to like create newer ones, better ones that convert better. And that's why they hire the best of the best copywriters to always pump out new promotions. And it's kind of like a constant game of cat and mouse. But this one, it wasn't really tested. It worked to some extent, and then they were basically just lazy to like try a new version of it. And at first, I didn't really want to believe this because I read this sales letter several years ago or something when I got started with copywriting. But, back then everything was like, wow, this must be so good. But like now after reading it, sure, it has some great points. But to be honest, it's not that super hyper effective, like even from a copywriting perspective as well. So it has like the hook is definitely good, and it's I can commend it for it that the hook is good, the story of two young men. But what again a lot of people don't know is that the freelancer, this letter was written by a freelancer, by the way, and who wrote it, he was called Martin Conroy, and he actually swiped the story. So he actually copied the story from a 1919 sales letter called Civil War letter. So it basically had the same type of structure than the lead for this one. And it turns out that even that older sales letter was swiped from an even older sales letter. So it's like, where's creativity in this industry, right? But anyway, just you should know this because you're gonna, like, if you're an aspiring copywriter or even an established copywriter maybe, many people don't know that this $2 billion letter is actually, it has a little dark side next to it. And my suggestion is that you don't swipe it because it wouldn't really work in today's climate so much. First of all, so many people copied the same structure. And secondly, like, it's just not convincing enough in today's climate, and the offer itself wouldn't really work in today's world because it's selling information, basically access to information. And nowadays that's not a problem anymore because you have Google, but the problem is that you have too much information, how to actually select that information. So I'm just gonna read you the lead here, and then I'm gonna analyze the rest as well. And notice that there's no headline actually, so it just says the Wall Street Journal. So again, I think that they're losing a lot of people here already with it. But there is one big idea behind the whole thing. So the big idea is that the story of two men, and how their destinies became different because of one thing. So it's all about one thing, and people want one thing all the time. It only talks about one benefit, so like you're gonna have insider knowledge that otherwise you wouldn't have. It talks about one big pain point, which is to be basically left out and like not having the edge against the world. And it also gives one single solution. So it's like, hey, buy this newsletter subscription. That's it. So I really applaud it for being so clear on what it's trying to do. It's just that the implementation itself, apart from the hook, it doesn't really have the sizzle at all. So let's just read it. So, dear reader, on a beautiful late spring afternoon, 25 years ago, two young men graduated from the same college. So we start with a story. This is also called a story lead. And by the way, if you want to check out Michael Masterson's book on the topic, Great Leads, I'm gonna leave a link below this video in the description, because I really encourage you to check it out. It's one of the best books on copywriting you could ever find. Also, if you're liking these videos, if you're enjoying it, then like you can like the video as well. I'm really bad at trying to get you to like it, but because of the algorithm's sake, the only way for these videos to reach more people is to get more likes and social signals. So that's the algorithm for you. But like, this whole thing starts with a story, and it sets up the story beautifully in the first sentence. Then he goes on to say, they were very much alike, these two young men. Both had been better than average students, both were personable, and both, as young college graduates are, were filled with ambitious dreams for the future. So this part, I think, is there to like build relatability and to set up a loop that gets people to read the whole thing. And it's story leads are a great way to attract mass audiences who don't know that they have a problem. They're unaware or problem aware, or most likely unaware. So that's why story leads still work really well in today's business climate. And no matter how skeptical people are of a certain type of promotion, they are still drawn to stories. And then we continued with a big time jump. So the copywriter says, recently, these men returned to their college for the 25th reunion. They were still very much alike, but both were happily married, both had 3 children, and both, it turned out, had gone to work for the same Midwestern manufacturing company after graduation, and were still there. But there was a difference. One of the men was a manager of a small department of a company, and the other one was president. So that's the big punchline here, is that there was one difference, like it creates curiosity, and there's a punchline at the end, like the other one was its president. So what made the difference? This is a normal thing that the reader would ask at this point. And I really like how the copywriter here basically preemptively asked the question and then asked another philosophical question here. And I really like using these philosophical questions in copy. So have you ever wondered, as I have, what makes this kind of difference in people's lives? This is the question, and then he goes on to say like what's not really that important, and then he immediately like reveals the one thing. So I think, especially nowadays, as a potential improvement opportunity, it would be wise to like expand this more. It would be wise to like talk about how you think that this is the key to your success, but no, it's not, because of this reason. And then you might think that this other thing is the reason for success, or like the cue to your success, but nah, it's yet another thing. And just agitate this little uncertainty and pain a little bit. Just create more curiosity and desire, and then only then give them the one thing that actually is, because this is just giving it away way too quickly. So, and that is why I'm writing to you and to people like you about the Wall Street Journal. So yes, it still has instant credibility. So my guess is that if this promotion wasn't selling the Wall Street Journal, but more like a no-name product, it would have even lower conversion rate. So it would have like a 0.1% or something, because like selling the Wall Street Journal kind of implies some credibility to people, and they want to get a piece of it as well. And then we have an outcome, a benefit, basically what's in it for people to like get this solution, and is to get the knowledge, basically. And again, it's something that I think would not really work so well today, because people aren't looking for knowledge nowadays. They don't want to learn something. They want to get something. They want to discover something. They want to be empowered to do something. Okay, so it's much more active nowadays. Learning itself is so last century. I mean, it's not, but like in your advertisement, it is. So then we have a unique selling proposition. And I like, by the way, how there are like these subheads are very like they're used very often. So it's definitely a good sign, because it makes the copy more relatable, definitely. And a publication unlike any other. So this is the unique selling proposition, but again, to be honest, like it's not a real, like why is it? What's the reason behind it? It's missing to me. We have another unique selling proposition, which is like this is the real one probably. So the country's only national business daily. And again, maybe in that time it was, but nowadays it certainly wouldn't be. And it still has some proof elements by saying it's put together by the world's largest staff of business news experts. So that's good. It's there for business-minded people, and this whole paragraph here just basically qualifies people. So who is this for? It's for business-minded people. It's people who want, to make more money, but and I think this is very smart from the copywriter. He immediately does a preemptive objection handling by saying that this isn't only about stocks and finance, but this can be about anything. So in the world of fast-moving business, you need this edge, and not just about stocks. You need to be a generalist, and nowadays you need to be a specialist to be more successful. But back in those days, I can totally imagine that if you were like an insider in many different things, you would get an edge, definitely. So this also presupposes, this fast-moving world of business, that they need to stay up to date, and because this is a publication which is daily, this can kind of be a benefit for them, and then you can be more relevant. That's like the promise of the whole thing. So the promise itself isn't really that strong, and we don't even have that many proof elements. We have like 2 or 3 in the entire promotion. So again, I don't know how this became the world's best sales letter or something. It certainly isn't. Like if you look at it from a purely copy perspective, in my opinion. But we have a proof element here said referencing the people who edit this, and it's the best read front page in America, this Wall Street Journal. So that's good. We have another unique aspect type of thing of it by saying that it combines all the important news of the day with in-depth feature reporting. So that's interesting. And then we have more qualification, that it not only talks about money, but it talks about taxes and like car prices and all sorts of stuff from other industries as well. So then this paragraph goes on to dimensionalize the whole thing, like, hey, you have this section and this, gives you this, and the other section gives you that. And we qualify more. So it's all about, at this point, it's all about qualifying more and more people and dimensionalizing like what's inside the whole thing. But again, I think some fascinations or bullets would definitely help this, because as we've seen in me breaking down Mel Martin's promotions, or like every single boardroom promotion ever, it's all about like fascinations and bullets. It's all about a quick curiosity-driven thing that you read, and it's like the only way to find out the answer is to buy the product. So it's like saying like think that getting insider info in stocks is a good thing, right? Wrong. Here's why. Like page 68 explains why, or something like that. Okay, so it creates curiosity, and it would definitely use some bullets here, in my opinion. But then again, I don't like the specific audience for this. Like after breaking down one of Agora Financial's promotions 2 videos from now, like before now, it kind of is a very similar audience. So like older people who have money, who are interested in investments or something like that. Probably that's the audience for this one as well. And seeing just how masterfully copywriters at Agora do these types of things, it's a night and day difference to me. But then again, this was written in 1970 something. I just made a note about it, like 1975. So back then it might have been easier. But think again, like Gary Bencivenga had some promotions in 1975 probably. David Ogilvy had promotions. Victor Schwab, John Caples, it's so many things that happened even then, like good copy things, and yeah, it's just this seems to be missing it. You cannot imagine how useful this can be. So it's like a prove me wrong type of thing. A money saving subscription. This is the subhead here, another subhead, And basically here we go into the offer itself, and everything is angled most likely like a trial. So it's like, hey, you can try this, like parts of it, for like 13 weeks for just $44. So I don't know, probably work well, but I'm not sure why 13 weeks, why not something else. And then there's a two-tiered pricing system, because there's also like a higher paid version, which is like the yearly version, and with that you save $40. So if you buy in bulk, you save $40, and this is like universally powerful to have two tiers and to like have one with which you can save a lot as well. Then we have ordering instructions by saying that, you know, simply fill out this enclosed order card and mail in your order, and that's it. We have a money back guarantee, and then some social proof by saying that, you know, this works for millions of others. So then here's the call to action, fill this out right now. And then this is interesting, at the end, you know, we close the whole thing with ending the loop. So this whole thing begins with the loop, with an open loop of a story of two men. And then again, this is just a callback to the story, which probably people liked in the audience. So once again, what made the difference between those two people? Knowledge, useful knowledge, and its application. So three types of things here, but I don't know, these seem to be pretty relevant, but it's not like I feel like, you know, it's an irresistible offer, and I need to find this out. Okay, so I don't know, it's just not doing it for me as well. And these things too are very abstract. So the last sentence is yes, it builds relatability, and it has an investment in success, which sounds cheesy a little bit to me, and then it's too abstract to say interesting, always reliable, and always useful. Like, what does that mean exactly? What does interesting mean? People don't buy things because they're interesting. They buy things because they give them something. They help solve their pain. They soothe their pains. They give them something that coincides with their inner personality or something like that. And always reliable, it seems a little bit like a corporate slogan, a little bit. And then the PS still has like another qualification element by saying that there's a better deal for people as well. So this might also be tax deductible. So if you're like a business customer or something, then maybe you can also get it for even cheaper. But yeah, that's it for this one. All in all, you know, I mean, the numbers don't lie. So it did produce a lot of results, this one, but it's not because it was a genius promotion, but because the company itself was just lazy to test something else against it. But if the company were to hire like David Deutsch or Paris Lampropoulos or someone like that to rewrite this, I can guarantee you that they could have gotten like 5 times more sales or something. But yeah, it is what it is. It's still one of the most respected sales letters. It goes down in history like that. Just know that, you know, it's not like the end all be all of sales letters, and don't swipe it, please, because it's been overused to death and it probably won't work so well today. So thanks again for watching this. See you in the next one.